think it was really good for us, especially to get Stevenson out and then Travis Head shortly after. But for us, trying to keep Australia under 300, I think that's one of our main goals.
With the sort of pitch playing how it is, a lot of variable bounce, pretty sporadic as well. What do you think, is a realistic total?
Like I said, anything under 300, but I just think as a batting group, we just need to be positive in when we go to bat. Probably taking some notes from both Travis Head and Bo Webster throughout the series, even Alex Carey, just having that positive mindset.
And was it always a plan to sort of go straight up to stumps to you, or was it just the way that Steve sort of was playing in that period?
Yeah, it was pretty much the way Steve was playing, and then obviously Alex Carey, even from the last Test match, he came down the pitch to a couple of the guys and popped us back over the head. So, having him in the crease, it was kind of a benefit for us.
Have you been able to identify the places on the pitch that provide that bounce, or is it a bit of a sort of pop-up?
Yeah, it's pretty much a 6 metre length for all the teams. Just finding that area and trying to bowl as straight as possible. I think the pitch does the rest.
It's been a pretty tricky match for batters throughout. But it looked like Steve Smith was playing on a different surface out there. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, he's one of the best batsmen in the world for a reason. But we always knew that he was going to come. He was always going to be positive. We didn't start our best at him, but then. Steve is Steve, and he just had a really good innings.
As potentially one of the batters who maybe be needed in the second innings to try and get these runs, what will your mindset be when you go out there?
I think everyone's mindset is obviously to win the game. Just not play for survival and just not try to draw a Test match. Every single one of us in the group is just thinking about winning the Test match.
Has your view on the surface changed at all today? I mean, last night when Roston came in, he was talking maybe about wanting to chase around 200. Do you think it is realistic to get a few more than that?
I would say the pitch changed a lot. The new ball does pretty much everything. As soon as the ball gets a bit softer, it gets a bit easier for batting. And I guess both teams realize that, and as soon as the ball gets a bit soft, we try to change the ball as much as possible. But, whatever score we can limit Australia to, like I said, possibly under 300, we've got to try and believe that we can get it.
Just quite a bit of short ball bowling that period after lunch. How much of a strategy was that, and I suppose to scuff the ball up a bit to get the change, which seemed to have a positive impact for the team?
Yeah, I just think that, the plan that we had after lunch, just try not to be too predictable. Try something new, try something different. When you bang the ball into the pitch, one was up, one was down. So for us, just try it for a couple overs and then obviously get back on the 6 metre line.
How did it feel out there today? Did it remain quite tricky for batting?
Yeah, certainly. No, I don't think I ever really felt comfortable out there. I think it was certainly, last night was tricky just with the new ball. Today you had to start again, and there was a few ball changes. So, I never really felt at any point it looked that good. You probably asked a different question to Steve. I think he was batting on a different wicket. I think he's clearly a class above, and that's a tough wicket. So to play as well as he did was incredible.
Has it felt any different for you coming in at number 3 over these last few weeks?
No, it's actually felt really normal. I think, obviously you ask most of the guys in our change rooms and they've batted number 3 their whole junior career. So, no different with me. I think I've batted number 4 for WA. Being one spot up is no different. So, all good.
Great D, Cam, but what was going through your head during that dismissal? Looked like you were pretty frustrated at the end there.
Yeah, I feel like at sometimes you want a bit of luck, and a chop one was always a sign of that. I think we've been reasonably unlucky with this game. I think we've had a few shoot up that have been dismissed, a few roll low that hit the stumps, with a couple of chop ons. So, no, that's cricket. But at the same time, sometimes you just need a bit of luck, and hopefully I'll save it for the next game.
And when do you feel like you are batting your best? What are the things you're noticing or triggers, or just something when you feel like you are at your best batting?
Yeah, I think there's just a pretty natural flow and no real thought processes. It's a pretty clear mindset when you're batting really well. Just ask Steve, whatever he's doing, he's pretty good.
Cam, how have you found the balance between obviously not bowling yet and just playing as a batter in terms of, I guess, usually being able to do both? Have you found that sort of tricky to negate?
Yeah, no, not at all. no, I've absolutely loved it. I think, yeah, just being around the guys again has been awesome. So, yeah, to be able to sneak in while still not bowling, I think is, I'm incredibly grateful for that. So, yeah, hopefully my output can be a little bit better than it has been. But today was a nice sign that things are hopefully trending well. But no, I've absolutely loved it. I think I've done it for a few times playing WA, not bowling, just batting, and I think you can, deep dive into your thinking when you're out there, assess the conditions a bit differently than, thinking about how to get the batter out. So, no, I've enjoyed it.
It seems like you have sort of steadily been, I guess, finding your feet in the new role. It's a good confidence booster to sort of kick on from, getting a start and sort of pushing on to 50.
Yeah, no, certainly. You always need innings here and there just to get you back and get you going. Hopefully today was certainly one of those. But if anything, it's good to get some time out there. I think there's, a lot of good things that can get out of just spending time in the middle. So, I think ball's face has been trending up. The runs haven't been there, but there's certainly little positives I can take out of it.
When you've obviously got a long stride, do you try and use that when the ball's keeping low? Are you conscious of trying to get forward?
Not really. I think that comes reasonably natural to me. I think I was watching a few of the contact points that Steve was making, and I don't think his feet were anywhere near the ball. I think there's just complete skill set there. So I think it's just that's kind of how I play. I like to get forward and the balance that I create has to come with a nice stride. So at times there can be positives with it. You try and use your natural advantage.
I suppose, Cam, through this early period at batting on 3, obviously, as you touched on, the scores hadn't come. Have you noticed any of the scrutiny around that at all? Have you been able to block it out? And has your faith in your ability wavered at all, or you've always maintained that?
No, I don't read anything, so I've got no idea what's going on. But I understand. I think you all know when you're playing that there's runs that need to be made when you're certainly batting up the order for Australia. So I think that's what we all love. We love to be out there making runs. It's a tough game, so being able to bounce back from tough times is equally as important. So there's obviously good signs out there. But no, to answer your question, I don't read anything.
And with your bowling, I know you've been doing a little bit of stuff with Griff in the nets and that. How's it coming along? What's the plan at this stage, and how's it developing?
Going really well. I absolutely love having Griff back around. I think, certainly when I started as a 17-year-old for WA, he was there as my first bowling coach. So to have a familiar face there, I think he's weirdly just been within my team. So so certainly for WA early doors, for RCB he was there as a bowling coach, and then now as another bowling coach again for Australia. I think it's been really funny how our careers are kind of aligned. So to have a familiar face there is awesome.
And just in terms of your progression and the plans, when do you expect you will be bowling in games, and have you identified a Shield game at this stage? I know it's a few months away still, but how's that looking?
Going really well. I've certainly had enough rest, so my back's not an issue. I think it's more getting the loads up now. So I can't tell you definite when that may be happening. It'll be a steady progression, and hopefully around a couple of the Shield games, potentially one day versus India. But these are all pretty far away, so wait and see.
Cam, with that ball that shot under your bat and Shea missed it and went down for 4, can you do anything in that sort of situation to try and play that, or is it just one of those things that if it had been on the stumps, potentially it's just bad luck?
I think you're just out in those situations. I think there was a few pull shots that didn't bounce anywhere near what I thought they would, so you're just praying, I guess. That's all you can really do. You're just trying to forget about it as much as possible.
Have you been able to, or you and Steve, were you able to identify any spots out there that potentially could use going into the second bowling innings?
Not really. I think we probably saw Alzari from the far end with his bouncer plan going a bit up and down. I don't know if that's just him as a bowler or if it's that side of the wicket. So, I think if we just put enough balls in the right area, there'll be enough that goes up and down and sideways. So, there's plenty of that wicket, and hopefully it stays that way.